want to ask if before we were born, we come from this point, and then after we die, we also go to this. Then why does Buddhism talk about like reincarnation, past life? Like maybe we did something good, so we are human now. Then maybe we do something bad, then we become animals or something. Like if everything just goes to this one.
So, wow, big question. So after you die, do you know where you will go? Only that?
I don't know.
I would say that's why Buddha taught about reincarnation. You hit this floor, that's a great point. And you already understand what that demonstrates. But when I ask you back only that, your donor was very pure, which I'm very glad to hear that, rather than you pretend to know. But just because of that, Buddha had to offer many tools, right? So if we digest this, as much as you can digest, perhaps less and less explanation would be needed to lead you to that point. But like Peggy, you at least have got this first, but then there is still something lingering in your mind that is not completely clear when you are asked about such kind of question. Where will you go after you die? Wow. So, one of the biggest characteristics of Buddha is compassion. We all know that. So it used to be said that in Buddha's teaching, there are like as a metaphor, 84,000 tools to teach people. So reincarnation, no matter that's true or not, first of all, actually, if you start thinking about that's true or not, you have got already lost in the perspective of Zen. But Buddha tried to give as many ways as possible he could give to all sentient beings, and in many levels. So, what were you actually before you got this body, this life? Yeah, that kind of question. We are still stuck. We are still get lost. So then sometimes we, listen to this kind of teaching, reincarnation. Actually, you all heard about this, the chain of this 12 independent link, right? So there is a very interesting kind of theory that was taught by many actual masters, that, for example, there are like 12 independence in the chain. The first two, like ignorance and this mental formation, sometimes it's called will in English. They are categorized in past lifetime. It's very interesting, actually, division. And then from this, what's the next? This consciousness up to existence are actually presence. And then after the existence, then life, so that death and all the suffering, they are actually categorized as future. If you even this theory look into very carefully, that what is reincarnation about, even in an intelligent level. But if you get lost in this intelligence, like the first frog, no way. you will just stuck in this life and death. Rather, like the stupid frog, exactly. Our way of practice is actually not cling to this kind of theory and concept. Very difficult actually not to cling because our consciousness has been accumulated. That's why it's called the five skandhas. It's accumulated for infinite lifetimes. So it's so heavy and rough to cut out. But our way is actually the second frog. Because you try to really understand with your intelligence, there are much bigger chance for you to get just drawn and die, your mind. So yeah, why Buddha taught about reincarnation? If you say that must be true, 30 blows. If you say that shouldn't be true, 30 blows. So what a simple and strong and clear teaching, these Zen tools. I mean, I'm not trying to compare, but because it's brilliant, you know, some eminent teachers has created to get, you know, this is our, this thinking, checking mess to get out of there. That's brilliant. So anyway, that's what I would like to tell you.
Thank you.
Probably more during the interview.
Thank you.
Welcome.
My question is simple, not as my colleagues, but I just want to ask how to resist temptation.
How to what?
Resist temptation.
Temptation. Why do you want to resist?
Because it's a hindrance to my practice. The temptations that I have.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's a big deal. But of course there's a way. So you already actually defined that's temptation. And that means that's something that you don't desire. You don't actually want that happen to you, right? So then there must be some way. First of all, we should understand how our mind is delusive, you know, deluded. So we discriminate many like phenomena or the truth as good or bad, as maybe helpful or harmful, or as you know, anyway, all these dualistic ideas. So first of all, I think some temptation occurs to you. That means your mind is already kind of split, and it's very difficult to actually figure out if this is a deluded idea, or is this my instinct, or is this something that I have to resist. So not easy. By the way, hopefully I don't try to make it too complicated. The bottom line is that you can use some practice, like bowing or chanting. Or actually, in that case, it's better to use your body rather than just doing something in your mind only. So I would recommend, you know, do some bowing or chanting, you know, your mouth and then your mind try to become one. There is a story. There was one man who was traveling all the time, and then he was walking whole day, and he was passing through a village, and he was so thirsty. The weather was very hot. Then he just found some well, like probably for all the village people on the way. And then he just right away, he rushed there, and he saw there was one big, how do you call this, some scoop, but it's quite big. 바가지를 뭐라 그러지? Scoop, yeah, big scoop. So right away he just took some water fully, and then he started drinking without like breathing. And then at some point, almost he was like drinking. He was really big, but he was so thirsty that like he was drinking at one shot, and then almost half he drank. At the moment, he saw this snake, but without like doing anything, because it was so like it happened like in a moment. The snake just go into his throat. He saw, but no moment to stop whatever. So then he tried to vomit, but it didn't work. And then from the day, he started getting very fast ill. His body and of course his mind, he couldn't eat anything, and he started to have fever. And then after a few days, his body started to get very skinny. And he, first of all, he was so like felt disgusting suffering because a snake in his body. And he tried many doctors. And all the doctors told him, they kind of checked his body. No, there's no such like a snake in your body. But he saw the snake went in, and he can feel absolutely he's almost dying. And his body is getting really thin and thin and thin. So he was almost dying, but he happened to meet a very interesting doctor. And this doctor, not just to cure your body, but also he can kind of perceive your mind. Was very special, interesting doctor. And then he also checked his body, and he actually found there's no snake in his body. But this man kept insisting that there's a snake in his body. So the doctor said, first agreed. Oh, actually, I can see there's some snake in your body. But actually what happened when he was drinking the water, the scoop, and above him there was like a tree, like a bowl, and one snake was there. And when he was like drinking about half, 45 degrees, it reflected on the water, the snake, and then he thought the snake went into his body. So then that notion completely get him ill. So this doctor kind of perceived his mind. So he told him, yeah, there's a snake in his body. So I have to open your belly, and then I have to get it out. So then get ready. And then before that, he actually caught a snake, the doctor, and then leave somewhere. And then after he finished the surgery, and then he put the bag, his belly, and then he showed when his conscious bag, he showed the dad this snake. I took it out. And then from the moment this man started to recovered so fast. Actually, this is from some Buddhist text. So our mind is full of this deluded idea, right? In Heart Sutra, we recite every morning and evening. There is all this deluded idea. When that's got rid of that, then actually you got through this freedom. So we understand something that I don't want, something that I think this is not true. My mind is deluded, but it's not easy to actually get rid of it. So you understand something, we all understand, actually, we have lots of this delusive, stuff in our mind. So we understand we have to do something to deal with that. And that's why actually you came here for Kyol Che. So your question is, even if you don't get the answer, actually you have the answer. What? You have to do something with that. Or there's a doctor, maybe a head monk, maybe Zen Master, maybe the Wol Sunim, kitchen master. They can actually give you some kind of guidance. Well, not just those people. You're like a Dharma fellow. But more important thing, actually, you have to do something. Actually, in a sutra, they say, if someone understands, their mind is very deluded, and all this problem in life, especially mind problem, is from this deluded mind, and they understand Buddha's teaching, but still they don't practice. That's really ignorance. They understand that there is some problem, and then actually they got some this prescription to deal with that, but then they don't take the medicine. That's truly stupid. It's a little different kind of stupid with this second frog. This is ignorance. So people who understand this, very simple, I have suffering, and I'm suffering, for example, because I don't know where I'm from originally before I got this body from my parents. I don't know where I will go after I die. So that often I don't know why I'm living this life. Then you found, this Buddha's teaching in some way help, and you got some notion that actually there must be some way if you practice Buddha's teaching. Then you have to do, like all of you guys came for Kyol Che. But there are many people actually who don't really try by themselves. They only understand they have a problem. Now, so you have, this some issue. We all have issue. Like for you, how can resist the temptation? Actually, there's already actually we have given you lots of prescription. When there is some temptation, if physically possible, you can go to Buddha hall and do bowing. I saw actually sometimes go to Buddha hall during extra time and then maybe do extra practice. That's great. Of course, often maybe it doesn't take away your temptation right away, but that's, as he shared again this in a story, that you keep trying. That's also a very important part of this prescription and the practice. You have to just keep trying. Not one time, but then you have to just keep trying. So that's not easy task, dealing with all the temptation. I don't know what's the temptation for you, but but because you are now in the temple and everything is quite simple and clear. You are Haengwan and you have a practice. So what to do for that is quite, I think, clear. Now the most important thing is you just to do it. Okay?
I don't know, maybe it's a delusion, but why sometimes it feels that everything is already planned. I mean, all this life is already, like, it's planned. It's like we have like kind of scenario or something.
Because first of all, you think that way. If you don't think it's not planned, then it's yeah. I hope that helps. Yeah, it's not easy to flip the way of thought. That's what's called karma. But actually, your question has I know a little deeper kind of point. Another day, one person came. He's also very interested in this AI, artificial intelligence, the human being is creating, inventing. And he sometimes thought about maybe human beings are also AI. Planned. Somebody planned. Because he told me, Sunim, think about this. Like, to operate a computer, personal computer PC, that you need some operating system like Windows, right? So then everybody got their own PC. Then the basis is the window, and then you maybe add this or that. You maybe download this or that. You use the PC as your own way. Then you think that's your personal computer. Like each person think that way. That's who I am. But actually, now computer got infected by some virus, and then you reboot it. How do you call it? Like a reset completely? Then only thing that left is a window. And everybody's actually has the problem or reboot. Then everybody has only this window, the same. So maybe it's planned. Somebody planned. But of course, that's a very interesting point. And when I was listening to him, that's almost like our primary point instruction, this. But there is a big difference. When you think about this, maybe everything is planned. It's, to me, it sounds quite much like there is some object that actually created something. And that's already a big difference from this primary point. Because when you hit the floor, there's no plan or not plan. The name for that is absolute. Okay, there's no subject, no object. When you say, maybe my life is planned, maybe it's a kind of destiny designed by something, that means already you have lost this absolute point, this. Because there's no way to actually explain about. We explain about it, but in a fundamental level, there is no such like subject and object there. That's just it. So there can be some upside and downside when you think that maybe this life, my life or myself is planned by something. But that's one. I would say that's one big deluded idea. And actually, you can plan your life if you truly want. There was some interesting line that I read recently. What was that? Not exactly, but it's something like, in my earlier interpretation, that if you get this moment, attain this moment, actually you can change your past. So sometimes Zen Master Taebong, I think, wrote a article or he shares sometimes during the Dharma talk that Professor Nim actually mentioned that this when you feel really, did you say like when you feel some kind of miserable, this life or this Kyol Che, and then can you say again, because it was nice, but I forgot. then you suggested what?
I mean, I connect to the reality.
A reality, yeah, that's what, that's exactly. It's, I think, very important. And also, Zen Master Tan Wol, I think you have read this, that the forest in Providence Zen Center, that is biologically it's a very high class forest, and the trees get the energy, perhaps like a 70 or 80% of their energy is from their own this dead matters. This the leaves and tree fall, and then they got rot, and then actually the living tree, the live tree, gets the energy about 70 or 80% from that their own dead matter. It's much bigger than actually they pick the nutrient from the air and sunlight. That's quite amazing. So when Professor Nim talked about, like, we sometimes feel like we're dead. There's no more like motivation. It doesn't, no matter how long actually you practiced. Sometimes there's sometimes a moment like you encounter that kind of some feeling that wow, this is impossible to overcome. But then, as he mentioned, that you completely connect with reality. That means actually the energy itself is in yourself. Like the trees gets all this the major energy from their own dead matter. Because in reality, if you really become one with the reality, that energy is not different from your own. Because basically, actually, the whole universal substance is the same. If you have if you have kind of digested this point, so you completely involved in the reality, then that makes total sense that you get energy. Because that's your own energy. 합기, we used to call, right? 원기, like, this my original energy, 대기, this energy from the air, and three things together, and that's 합기. So it's basically not separate energy, but we used to forget how to actually pick it because of our feeling, because of our karma for temptation. So we used to forget how to actually we connect with that energy. It's a very actually you always experience. For example, people work in the kitchen. When I was a Haengja, I used to work a lot in the kitchen. And then there's a clear difference, like in the evening, my energy. Like sometimes I'm dying because I'm exhausted. All Korean Bosallims talk so much in the kitchen and I have to work there. My mind is completely lost, and the evening, I'm dying. But someday, in the evening, still I have lots of energy, and it's very clear why. Because I just, completely involved in what I'm doing in the kitchen. Boom, 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 boom. And even if you work for like 5 hours, after finish, you probably have that kind of experience. You are still fresh, right? But even for maybe 30 minutes, okay, today is a work period instead of sitting under the sun, and your mind is already spoiled. And you don't want to get this sticky sweat on your body, and you have this full of this like a negative feeling and idea. Maybe you are doing kido in popdang. Today, okay, again, there's no one behind me. and then maybe discouraged. And then your mind is already made up. It's planned. It's planned to be really bad already. Who make it? So then it's only 30 minutes work period. You feel so tired. Why? Because you already have this stuff in your mind. I think coming to Kyol Che is the same. So when it's not easy, as he actually mentioned, try to completely get involved in what's happening now. During the sitting, your mind just don't know. Or sometimes your mind fly around, but my mind get lost, and then bring it back. And when you do work, really try to do that. So then there'll be no much chance for you to get lost or pulled by your temptation around. Then your center gets stronger and stronger. Someday really strong, then you can control your feeling, temptation, the situation. Anyway, that's the principle. And then please don't forget, the more important thing is you just try that. So I hope we all keep trying. Thank you.